The question in my mind is, how do you create or relaunch a highly profitable and successful 6 to 7 figure business? With so much conflicting advice about the best ways to start and grow your business, how do you get it right the first time? I want to help entrepreneurs make a real difference and navigate the messy world of startup or relaunch. My name is John North, and this is the Startup Secrets for Entrepreneur Show. Join me today when we dig deep with our guests and get you the best blueprint so you can fast track your own business. This episode is sponsored by Evolvepreneur.app, your all-in-one online business system. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at startupsecrets.show right now. So let's get into today's episode.
Hey, my name is Jan Koch. I've just been on the Startup Secrets Show, and we've talked about building goodwill, building income streams, and positioning yourself as an authority, even if you're starting from scratch, by using virtual summits. This is going to be a good one. Tune in.
My very special guest today is Jan Koch from Virtual Summit Mastery, or also known as VSM. Hi, Jan. Welcome to the show.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So today we're going to talk about a few things, and obviously when we talked about virtual summits, we sort of a little bit give away the secret there a little bit. But tell me a little bit about your background and what you've got to do today.
100%. I am a WordPress developer by trade, actually. Started my own business in 2012, and in 2015 I ran my first virtual summit, the WP Summit back then, because my business was on a plateau. I was struggling with feast and famine cycles like most freelancers do at some point, and that summit really took my business to the next level. It positioned me as an authority in the WordPress space. I suddenly had people coming to me wanting to work with me because they saw the event that I was organizing, and that got me hooked, obviously, on virtual summits. And since then, I've done countless events. I don't know how many, brought together probably somewhere around 40,000 people over the past few years on my events, and made well into 6 figures. And in 2021, I took over Virtual Summit Mastery from my buddy Navid Moases. And now my entire focus is not just executing the summits, but teaching the entire methodology and the VSM process behind it.
And you didn't even have to put pants on.
That's true. That's the best thing. I'm actually sitting in running gear. So I have this polo on, obviously, but I'm sitting in running gear below that because after the podcast is over, I'll be out on a run with our Labrador.
There you go. Yeah, I was actually going for a walk as well. So, yeah, it's a crazy thing is that the top part doesn't need the bottom part. So, if we were asked and obviously the summit's the best way in terms of to get some business, and I think it's a really great idea. If you're a budding entrepreneur and you were to do a startup, because we had this discussion off camera before about my first run into it. So, if someone was going to do this summit concept, what's the secret to this thing? What's the high level kind of look at it, and what's the pitfalls?
It's a fantastic question. So a summit is an online conference, essentially. You are bringing together thought leaders in your space, associating your name with them because you are the summit host, you are the one interviewing all those influencers and thought leaders. And that's the major benefit from being a summit host. It is work to bring all those people together, but then you do interviews with, say, 15 to 20 experts on your first virtual event, which is a great way to build a relationship with those people. And then by giving away the summit contents for free, the model usually is you make it free to attend while the summit is running, and then you sell the replays and you sell all the offers you already have in place in your business as upsells on that. So by keeping the summit free to attend, you can easily get thousands of people to attend your summit because all the speakers will share. You will share the heck out of it, of course. You can set up affiliate programs. You can bring media partners on board who cover the event on their platforms. And so there is this huge word of mouth promotion going at some point when you're running a summit. Everybody in your space is talking about the event if you do it correctly. And by having that, everybody is talking about your brand as well. So even if you are starting from scratch, even if you have no audience right now, there are ways where you can connect with influencers nowadays, where you can connect with thought leaders and authorities in your space on social media by subscribing to their YouTube channel, by subscribing to their email list, by implementing what they are teaching in their content and then showing the results that you've gotten to make sure that you get their attention. Because to do that, when you're starting from scratch, to build those relationships, you have to do what others are not willing to do. You have to build those relationships way in advance, way before you need them. And when you show an influencer constantly that you're taking action on the strategies they're sharing, thinking of Brian Dean from Backlinko, for example, he has this ridiculously long blog posts with SEO strategies. If you implement those and say, hey, Brian, I saw a 50% traffic increase from that specific article that you've shared, guess how many people do that? Nobody does that because it's a ton of work. But if you go that extra mile, you can turn people like Brian Dean or maybe Gary Vaynerchuk when he shares something that you could do, or Seth Godin or whoever, you can turn those into acquaintances and then get them to speak at your virtual summit. Maybe not Seth Godin, Gary Vaynerchuk, they'll probably still charge you, but you get the idea. You get authorities that agree to speak at your summit. You turn them into affiliates so that they get a cut of every sale they refer for the replays and the funnel in place. And every attendee that sees your event thinks, damn it, that summit host knows what he's talking about or what she's talking about. They know their stuff and they care about the audience. They care about myself as an attendee because they make that event free to attend. So you're giving away all that value for free. You're building a ton of goodwill. And while it sounds counterintuitive, you can build up to 6 income streams from doing a free event. You can get sponsors, which are companies in your space that want to promote the event and support the event, be positioned in the event context as a sponsoring company. I love using sponsor money before the event is even starting so that you can pay for the time you need to take to run the event, to organize it. Then you have the sales from the all access passes, from the replays. You have a huge list afterwards, an engaged list that you can nurture with affiliate marketing or with your own services. You have your own products that you can add as upsells. You have evergreen virtual summits, which we've talked about off camera. And you have the opportunity to just relaunch your summit in a couple of months. So you have various ways to monetize an event while building goodwill in a community. And I think that is what sets virtual summits apart from most other digital marketing strategies.
It's fantastic. And I mean, yeah, absolutely. And it's also a concentrated effort too. So you're concentrating on something for a short period of time, but then you're generating so much more content. You can
repurpose that content in so many ways. I mean, you can write a book about a virtual summit. You have, say you just interview 10 people, that's 10, maybe 45 to 1 hour interviews, 45 minutes to an hour. That is 600 minutes worth of content that can be repurposed into emails, into blog posts, into social media updates, into short snippets that you could post on social. That's easily a year's worth of content if you do it correctly. So you have these 3 months of running a virtual summit. That's usually how long VSM students take to run their first event. And then you're sitting on a year's worth of content. And all the content marketing, all the promotion is set by then.
And I think that, and being through that VSM itself, it's a situation that what a lot of people don't do is they don't do a lot of thought process and strategy at the start. And I think that's the nice thing about that course that you've got there, is that you actually spend quite a lot of time setting all that up first, so you don't make a mistake of getting the wrong summit to the wrong audience and spend all that time for nothing. So I think that's probably the most valuable part of that course, I think, is getting it right to start with.
Along with all the templates for the websites that we provide and all the swipe copy and the email automations and stuff.
Yeah, it's an awesome course. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming along. As we're designed to do nice short interviews so that people can get some great ideas. So if they want to know more about virtual summits, what's the best place for them to go and talk to you?
The best place to dive into this world is by grabbing my book. That's virtualsummitmastery.com/book. I decided to not give it away. It's $4.99. And the reason is people don't value stuff they get for free. And I want people to take action on this idea because it is really powerful. So $4.99 doesn't break the bank for anybody, doesn't make me rich, but I ensure that people take action when they get the book.
Yeah, and it's the right way to go, I think. I think giving away stuff for free is never really going to work if they're not going to read it. So if you pay them some money, maybe you'll read it, right?
That's 100%.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming along, and I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, John.
Hey, John North, your host here. Stay listening for the next short episode where we cover secret number 4 with Craig Schultz, with some of the best core strategies for any business. You certainly won't want to miss this one. That's a wrap on another awesome episode for the Startup Secrets Show for entrepreneurs. Just before you go, if you like this episode, we'd be very grateful for a 5-star review. Please also consider recommending the show to a friend or two. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at startupsecrets.show right now. Until next time, if you're an entrepreneur, make a start on your next great business idea today.